मेधां मे इन्द्रो ददातु मेधां देवी सरस्वती मेधां मे अश्विनावुभौ आधत्तां पुष्करस्रजाः आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक् प्राणश्चक्षु श्रोत्रमधो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणमस्तु तदात्मनि निरते यदुपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु ओम शांति शांति शांति. Hearty fraternal greetings and good wishes to all the brothers and the sisters. The King Prithu, he could bring the calf Manu and then could bring in all the laws of right relationship on the planet. Then the king also could bring the energy of Jupiter and bring in the knowledge of comfort at mental level, at the level of senses, at the physical level. The comfort comes from Jupiter. And then he also gave the comfort of knowledge to the beings. That is how the planet is endowed with the energies of knowledge and energies of comfort. So the king, the emperor Prithu, he could seek the cooperation of Neptune, which is called Indra, Neptune. And through Neptune he could bring some more things to the planet and by that he also brought it. Whenever we say something is brought on to the planet Earth, we should also understand that it is also brought into our physical body, the earthly body, because the earth is representation. Our body is a representation of the earth. Whatever is in the earth is with us. So therefore, when things are brought from higher circles unto the planet, they are also brought unto the human bodies. Meaning the related centers are also established in the beings, in the human beings, in their bodies. That means the energy of Manu exists with us, and if we care to look for right relationship with every other being on the planet, be it animate or inanimate, there is the scope to learn it for man. Secondly, the energy of Jupiter, there is a center for it in us. There is a center, the energy is also on the planet. So this arrangement is the calf that they say they bring in, and the cow is milked, means the energies are brought in to be held by the human bodies and also by the planet. The milk represents the rays of the sun. The milk represents the rays of the sun. Just like the morning golden rays keep on energizing the planet. and gives us the needed warmth and vitality. So also every other planetary energy has its impact not only on the planet but also on us, because this arrangement is made by this emperor, who is no other than the incarnation of the divine. He linked the earth, he also linked the earthy bodies with the celestial energies, so that by our orientation we keep receiving them in abundance, and that would make it possible for us to live comfortably in the body and to live comfortably on earth and to gain the knowledge for evolution. So that is a great activity which was inaugurated in the third root race, in the second half of third root race. That is what exactly I want to impress upon you, because you are all introduced to the wisdom of races, thanks to Madame Blavatsky. That there is first root race, second root race, third root race, fourth root race and fifth root race and sub-races. So we are all preparing to get into the sixth root race, which is a root race where predominantly we experience light more than matter. The light is hidden in the matter, and we are all being prepared for that state where we can without much effort, could visualize light. That is how the next Manvantara is also called Savarni Manvantara, meaning Manvantaras of light, Manvantaras of color. Today there is so much of talk about violet flame, violet light, and treatments with violet light, setting things on order with violet light. More and more there would be perception of the colors relating to the light. We are walking into, that is the future. So, but the beginning was already made as early as in Lemurian times. As early as in Lemurian times. And all the laws were given, all duties were entrusted, and the humans were told how to relate to animal, plant and the minerals, and how are we to live in relation to each other. And all laws were given, and they were, with great enthusiasm, the humanity picked them up and worked out wisdom. But then, slowly the wisdom yielded to desire. The desire led that into a different dimension. When you have desire, you digress from your duty. When you have desire, you digress from your duty. See, when we come for the group life here, the very purpose is to gain wisdom and to gain alignment. But when there are desires, we also digress from this dimension and care more for other things relating to India than gaining wisdom and gaining alignment with the soul. We may think of going to the markets. We may think of going to CMR, or we may think of going to beaches. We may think of going to some McDonald's and all that. McDonald's are there in Europe also. We don't have to go to McDonald's here, isn't it? Why should you come all the way from Europe to go to McDonald's here? That is a desire, isn't it? Is it a duty to go to McDonald's? That's how digression comes. In Atlantis, when Lemurians gained the wisdom, slowly there is a digression towards desire. When the digression comes towards desire, the desire started using the wisdom. That's how the Atlantean times caused a great damage to the initial built-up of good work. The good work initially built up by the sons of will, sons of yoga and sons of fire. Thanks to Emperor Prithu, thanks to Kapila, thanks to Dattatreya, thanks to Ganesha, thanks to so many men of wisdom. They brought in wisdom, and wisdom was seen as a means to fulfill the beings and enable them to evolve. But then desire came in the fourth root race. So the desire overpowered the duty. Most of us do not progress only on the simple reason. Most of us have not been able to progress because desire overtakes the duty. Desire to sleep overtakes the duty of aligning with the divine. That's why many people sleep during the morning hours. Desire overtakes a duty in the evening because you have many other things to do in the evening. So you do not have again the orientation, you get digression. So digression is from the duty. So when such things happen, we lose the track. When we lose the track, it takes long time to get back to the track. The moment we lose the track, it takes very long time to get back to the track, which you very well know when you go on autobahns, when you move on highways. What do you call autobahn in Spain? Autopista. Autopisto. Pisto or pista? Pista. When you take to a wrong exit, in an autobahn, you have to go in rounds and rounds and rounds before you get back to the autobahn. Isn't it? Likewise, every desire causes a digression to the purpose. That's why we have to every morning invoke that purpose guide, that purpose guide, that purpose guide, like that. That purpose guide the little wills of men. Why? Because we are not threaded to the path through purpose. We are digressed because of the desire. So the good work done in Lemurian age was lost in Atlantean age. But the seeds of good work are collected, and with that the Aryan race again is built. And again we are getting into the same situation of heavy desires. So from desire to duty, when we get back to the path. Mostly we are desire oriented, and we do not know how to transform that desire towards the duty. A desire for duty is a blessing. A desire for other things causes stagnation for evolution. So the celestial king was, his energy, which is called Neptunian energies, they were linked to the earth, they were also linked to our body. So therefore we can have the bliss of experience. We can have the transcendental experience. Transcendental experience. What is it that the Neptune does? There are books to read. All that the Neptune does. Especially it leads you to musing with the soul. The beauty of Neptune is that it enables you to muse with the soul. When you muse with the soul, you are in bliss. We are the souls, but we have dropped ourselves into our personalities. When we are dropped into our personalities, we are into not even joy and not even into happiness. We are in a kind of a conflict. This is all stepped up. From bliss to joy, joy to happiness, happiness to unhappiness. That's how the desire brings us down and down and down. So by relating to the brow center and just the center above the brow, there is a possibility of aligning with it and gaining the muse. That's what Krishna suggested in Bhagavad Gita. Relate to brow center. Try to relate there. Then you get mused. And his flute music was only meant to cause muse to the personalities to align with the soul. He was instantly lifting people, meaning the personalities, to find alignment with their soul. So they got mused and they lived in that state of blissfulness through the flute music of the Lord. So that is what is called Neptunian functioning. The one who has Neptune as his lieutenant, or as his sergeant, or as his assistant, such one can lift up people just in a moment's time. And that kind of lifting up people to the state of muse was conducted by Krishna many times. Many times. Just cause a lift up, then people are mused. Not only the humans, but also the animals, and also the plants, and even the rivers. All were mused. That is the beauty of musing that comes from Neptune. And the one who is blessed with Neptune is the one who can produce the best music. Not all can produce best music. If you listen to the music that has the touch of Neptune, you are lifted up. You are lifted up. So that kind of musing is an aspect of Neptune, and in that musing, what I said, the eighth tissue happens. The eighth tissue, which I call ojas, happens. That's why the moment this ojas happens, you keep listening to Om within. Effortlessly, as you close your eyes, you would be listening to Om. Because the birthplace of Indra is also the birthplace of Om for us. Ojani means the birthplace of Om. And the tissue is called Ojas. Ojani. This word Ojani is a Sanskrit term which means it gives birth to Om. Once as you close your eyes and you experience Om, you are in a mused state all the time. That is what exactly the ones in contemplation are engaged with for years and for lives together in mountain ranges, not necessarily Himalayas, everywhere. In every mountain ranges, there are beings who listen to Om within, not uttering Om, listening Om. Because it is this Om that links via the center of Neptune in us and tends to be a pulsation. Om gives birth to prana. It is Om that gives birth to prana. Om is given birth by this Ojas. That's why the one who develops Ojas, he has the what you call the access to pranic energy. Access to pranic energy. He can bring down prana because Om generates prana and Om is generated by the eighth tissue of music. That's why a mused one can bring down prana. A mused one, the one who is mused with the soul, in him Om is realized. When Om is realized, Om brings along with it the pranic forces. So the pranic forces can be transmitted. That's why, and the name of Om in Sanskrit is Pranava. The name of Om in Sanskrit is Pranava. Pranava. Meaning it expresses in an ever fresh manner. It expresses in an ever fresh manner in us and causes the prana, and the prana manifests as pulsation. The pulsation manifests as gross pulsation, and the gross pulsation enables respiration. Respiration enables circulation of blood. Circulation of blood enables cleansing the impure blood and supply of pure blood. That's how there is an activity. That is the hierarchy. Pranava to prana, prana to subtle pulsation, subtle pulsation to gross pulsation, gross pulsation to respiration, respiration to heartbeat and circulation, purification of the used blood and distribution of the pure blood. All this activity is conducted in us in a very subtle manner by Om. So you gain this access to the pranic principle when we relate to the center of Neptune in us. It enables us to muse. When you are mused, already Om is generated in you. Meaning, it is there, but it is to your perception. Only because Om is at work, the prana is at work. If Om is not, prana is not. So therefore, your relating to this birthplace of Indra or Neptune, just above the brow center, enables musing. And the one who is mused has access to the pranic flow, which is called the golden thread. We call the pranic flow as the golden thread. The flow of the awareness is called the silver thread. The flow of awareness is called the silver thread. The flow of prana is called the golden thread. So you, being a silver thread, you gain access to the golden thread. So such good work happens when we relate to the center just above the brow. For that, the method given is just feebly, subtly, gently utter Om. Each time you utter Om and make it completely nasal, not vocal. Om. When you do that, you get the vibrations of the sound, the resonance of the sound. Keep knocking the door at the brow center. And then you would also gain the perception relating to the resonance of pulsation and be there. It enables you to muse. This is one key given by Lord Krishna, which is recorded in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So when musing happens, what happens? Ojani takes place. Ojas takes place. When ojani happens, meaning the impact of prana is well received in you, then you tend to be gaining a lot of vitality. And when you get vitality, you are able to grasp better. You are able to perceive everything in a better manner. And it would also resist all kinds of sicknesses. And it would enable you to experience the state of immortality. When life force is friendly with you, then you transcend that state of death or delinking with the body. When you're dealing with the body, you're consciously dealing. The conscious delinking with the body is also a happening at this center. If you wish to move out of the body also, the center is above the brow center. So you can imagine what dimension of goodwill that is brought down by the King Prithu to the beings on earth and also to the planet as such. When he could bring down the energies of Neptune and link them up to a center in the human body and link them up to the earth. Can you imagine what great service that has happened? And it's now for us, because the facility is available, we are in a position to link up the personality with the soul, experience the muse, number one, and then enable functioning through the personality as soul, number two, fulfill the purposes of the soul with the help of personality, number three, and thereby lift up yourself into the soul awareness by fulfilling your obligations on the earth. So such work was done by linking up the energies of Neptune to the earth and to a center in the human body. And then it also enables, when this ojas enters into the seventh tissue, which we call sperm, that only enables reproduction. Not all sperms carry the ability to reproduce. That's why in some couples pregnancy does not happen. Unless this ojas enters into the sperm, pregnancies cannot happen. Therefore, in Ayurveda, they created a medicine called ojani. Ayurveda is a medicine system based on Veda. That's why they created a medicine called ojani, and they give that ojani to people who are unable to receive pregnancy or who are unable to cause pregnancy, both for the men and women. That's how it has been arranged through Ayurveda. So that is what is also to be noted. Many of the dimensions relating to the functioning of Neptune. Once you are connected to the soul with the musing, then the energies of the soul express into personality. The energies of soul are will, knowledge and activity, the Trinity which we call. That's why the Trinity can express through this alignment via the personality and fulfill itself. It's a great beneficial act that has been carried out. Then the King Prithu, he also caused the rays of moon to be linked to the earth. The rays of moon from Neptune to moon. Here, from Neptune to moon he has come. The moon has the ability to cause things to grow on earth. Germination, fertilization, germination, growth, and then the kind of juices in the plants. Every plant carries the juice. That's why we drink so many juices. If you wish to have a mind that is that would be enthusiastic, meaning bubbling with energy, juices are recommended, because the juice has the ability to bring a bubbling energy in us, an enthusiastic energy in us. That's why more and more, not only fruit juices, but also the vegetable juices. Every plant carries its juice, and the juice is not only nourishing, the plant juices are also medicinal. And they cause tremendous strength to the mind and strength to the body in an indirect manner. So that's why it is called, the life tends to be juicy. The moon brings the moon helps the life to be juicy. That's why we say that there is a humor of the mind. The humor of the mind is on account of moon. Mind's humor is on account of the moon. That's why we say the humors have to be kept up. The humors have to be kept up. So the humors are kept up by bringing the energies of moon not only into the minds of the beings, but also into the plants, into the fruits, into the crop where you have the cereals, the pulses. The juice of rice has its impact on us. అందుకే గంజి తాగేవాళ్ళు మనవాళ్ళు బాగా. The juice of wheat, juice of rice, the juice of grass, wheat grass, people drink the juice of wheat grass and the juice of so many leaves. In all that, what is the essence of those juices is the humor of the moon. Humor of the moon. So to keep the beings joyful on the planet, to keep the people joyful on the planet, even in the food that we take in, these humors are injected. So how much good preparation to make the group life joyful. Some efforts are made by the organizers, trying to give you nice food, different food, variety of Indian food. Why? Because they would like to keep your humor high. Isn't it? It's an act of goodwill. That is also the reason why we say to cook tasty food and serve is a great service. To cook tasty food and serve. The taste comes not only by appropriate mix of ingredients, but also by the love with which you cook. If you cook with love, it has much better taste. You may have all ingredients for tasty things, but if love is missing, nourishing is missing. Nourishing is missing. That's why eating from the hands of those who carry love will cause much more health than eating from the hands of those who don't carry love. when people cook as a profession, they are cooking for money, not cooking to really nourish people. Isn't it? That's why it is always said, a morsel of food from the hand of the mother is much better than a plate of food coming from a professional cook. If you look to Mithila, the book Mithila, I wrote these things as early as in 93. Anything that is cooked with love has a greater impact. It may be a professional cooking, but if there is no love, and if the professional works for money, so it has a commercial taste in it. There is the energy of commerce in it, then an energy of love when you eat from the hands of those who cook. That's why in olden days there was not such an activity of restaurants and fast food centers, hotels where food is served. We were visiting others' houses where there is inclination to offer food to guests. If you get back by 3-4 centuries, there were no hotels. Or not, maybe even 2 centuries. Not only in India, even abroad, in your places also, when did the hotels come in? When did the restaurants come in? And when you eat in restaurant, the quality is already a secondary quality. Why? Because love is missing. Love is missing. But when moon's humor is brought into the plants, it is done with much love. That's why it is joyful when we take natural food. It is much more joyful and much more healthy when the food is natural and when the food is juicy. Juicy foods have a different impact on us. In fact, Ayurveda says, every meal shall have to include juicy food. It can even be juice of tamarind, but still it is juicy. Pulusu. There has to be liquid food. In fact, Vishnu Purana says, start with liquid food, take the solid food, conclude with liquid food. Commence eating food with the liquid food, meaning like a soup. Then have some solid food and conclude again with liquid food, like yogurt rice or buttermilk or something. That's how it has to be. And so anyway, that is all detail. What is important here is, juices are arranged in the plants with the help of moon. It is moon who causes. In the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, it's me through the moon arrange the kind of juicy things in the planets and help you to grow. It's the juice in the planet which today we also measure with the help of science. What ingredients? Has it calcium? Has it minerals? Has it metals? Like that we keep on verifying now. The juice in the lemon. How did it come through? Why should the water in the lemon should be so citrus? Why should it be so? This arrangement of juicy things was made by, as one more effort, linking the rays of moon, and the moon has 16 phases. So 16 moods, 16 humors were arranged with the help of moon, and people gained enthusiasm by taking food. That's why the very thought of food is also enthusiastic. See, in the morning, immediately after prayer, all those who live here, what is it that moves them to retreat center or the World Teacher Trust? They are drawn to the breakfast, and the groups grow from here in the morning for breakfast, and again they go for lunch, again they go for dinner, isn't it? They are enthused to go because there is something there that causes further enthusiasm. It's not only meeting people, it is also having a food that gives us nourishment, and there is an enthusiasm in us to have food. If the food is dry, if the food is completely chilly, or if it is too salty, you don't prefer to go there, why should I go? So this juicy aspect of food, where from it comes from? It comes from the cereals, it comes from the vegetables, it comes from the pulses. And the taste is arranged in the food, the taste is arranged on your tongue. So the taste mongering is there with the tongue, and there is the taste in the natural things that are prepared. And as a consequence, there is enthusiasm to take food. It's enthusiasm to take, see, even after 70 years, you feel like taking food. It's a wonder if you observe. See, the one who is speaking to you is already through 7 decades. But the enthusiasm to take food did not die, isn't it? We don't observe this. We don't observe this. Why such an enthusiasm? You are enthused to have morning cup of coffee or tea. You are enthused to have breakfast. You will inquire from the lady of the house, what is it that we have for breakfast? Isn't it? In a number of times we have eaten. But are we fed up? Are we fed up eating? Can we do any other thing like this? Can we do any other activity like this? You tell me. For every activity we look for closure, no? So when do I retire from the work? When do I retire from the work? Isn't it the idea of mind as regards other things? When do I close this business? How long should I teach? You get a question in you. How long should I teach? I may get a question. But I don't get the question, how long should I eat? It doesn't exist. Why? Because it is so enthusiastic. It's so enthusiastic. Our brother Navanisam always asks me, when will you relieve me? When will you relieve me from all this? So when such questions are asked, now only I get the answer. When you stop eating, the day you stop eating, that day you stop working. No?
Already not eating much.
So that's how the topmost enthusiasm for the being comes from food. But if you are busy while you are eating, you are really cursed. If you are busy while you are eating, if you are very much in thoughts while eating, when you are angry while eating, or when you have sorrow while eating, it's real curse. Because that is the only thing that can be directly rejoiced. That can be directly rejoiced, and you will never get bored of it. Never. How will we get bored? This dimension is generally not seen. But that's the wonder created for us on the planet. It gives every time you go to dining table, you are very enthusiastic. What is it that is arranged in us? Some kind of mechanism is inserted in us, isn't it? And such mechanism is also interested into the plants. You see a banana, already there is enthusiasm. I hope you have all eaten bananas yesterday in RadhaMadhavam. Any number of bananas we may have eaten, but again we are ready to eat. This is the work of moon, the earth, the moon, and the King Prithu. That's the triangle. They did it. So therefore, what for do we eat? To preserve the body. To preserve the body. That's why it is said, it is the work of the diaboles. You know, the work of the diaboles is to protect the body. The work of the divine is to protect the soul. Who wins? Generally the diaboles win. That's why body grows much more powerful than the soul as such. దైత్యులు దానవులు ప్రహ్లాదుని పట్టుకొచ్చారట. ఏది ఆనందాన్ని పెరగడానికి. So therefore, the material, the intelligences relating to material are called diaboles because they obscure light. For the growth of the body, you need diaboles. For the growth of the soul, you need the divine. You have to balance the two. You have to balance the two. The body does not want the programs of the soul. It's all very clear to us, no? The body always complains if you get up very early in the morning. The program of the matter is different from the program of the spirit. They are seeming opposites. We, through discipleship, are trying to make a balance between spirit and matter. That's why the energies that cause growth of the form, they are also called a category of diaboles. A category of diaboles. So these are the ones. That's why if we are very diabolic, we eat a lot. If we are very diabolic, we eat much more than what we need. By that what happens? The body takes control over the being, that's all. This is another dimension because the scripture says it is the diaboles who brought the taste. Who brought the taste to sustain the body. And we are all slaves of taste. We are all slaves of taste. If we are instructed by doctors not to eat a particular dish, for example, don't eat sweets, is what a diabetic is told. Don't eat sweets. But invariably you will eat sweet. Why? Because the power of diabol is such that it doesn't matter, let me eat sweet. That's how I ate the sweet in RadhaMadhavam yesterday. They have given saltish and sweetish things, no? I am supposed to eat the saltish things But I left out the saltish things and ate the sweetish things. When I inquired about myself, why have you done it? If there is a rebel in me, why should I not once in a way eat sweet? So this kind of rebel attitude comes from diabolos. The scripture very clearly says, the diabolos can work in us through taste. The diabolos can work in us through taste. They can make you a slave of taste and don't let you do the programs of the soul. You prefer to sleep than to work. There is a saying in South India, if someone is a disturbance to your work, there is a saying in South India, if someone is a disturbance to your work, the best thing to do is not to negate him, but to feed him. Feed him. If you feed more, he will fall asleep. Then he is no disturbance, you can continue your work. See how man's intelligence works in varieties of ways. It's a good way, no? The person who disturbs you, you have put him to sleep. That's enough. There is a saying that keep the sleep. Don't wake up the sleeping lion, like that. Or don't wake up a barking dog. So like that, I was wondering first time when I read this sentence, it is the diabolos who brought the calf, cooperated with the King Prithu to bring this kind of a calf through which milk can be, meaning the rays of moon can be milked to cause the needed taste in all that we eat. It is there in the plant kingdom. It is also there with us, so we match. It's a matter of compatibility of the horoscopes. So some people like saltish things, some people like sweetish things, some people like chilly things, isn't it? There are some, though they are very few, they also like bitter things. There are some others who like sour things. Sour. Different taste. Each tongue has its own taste. So accordingly there is arrangement in the nature. That's how the sustenance with joy is arranged. That is one dimension which is important, that has come to be. And then from the most high circles, that is, Gandharvas are called the waves beyond the creation. Gandharvas are called the musical waves beyond the creation. And it is they who are brought down into creation as musical sounds and lights. Musical sounds and lights. That means they form into musical sounds, and as per the sound there is dancing light. As per the sound there is a dancing light. According to sound the light dances. According to the sound the light dances. If the sound is musical, the light would be dancing. The sound is musical, the light would be dancing. And that dance of light is absolute beauty. Absolute beauty. It is them whom we call the nymphs of the heavens. Nymphs, Nyphms, the nymphs. They are the most beautiful beings because they are just sound and light in dance. It's sound taking to forms of light and in a very beautiful dancing form, and that would absorb you totally. If someone can sing to put you that state, that is called the highest benchmark for music. They call it Gandharva Gana, meaning the music of Gandharvas. Gandharvas means the waves beyond the creation. It is one wave from that state of space that makes into one creation, one wave. And there are countless waves. That is the observation of the seer. There are countless waves which have the potential of sound, which have potential of light, which have the potential of meter, which manifests in a very dancing form. That's why they are called the Apsaras, meaning they give you an ecstatic state of joy. It's an ecstatic state of joy and you are completely drawn into it. Imagine King Prithu, he thought of bringing that energy to earth, to give that kind of joy to the beings on earth. Hence we have so many musical programs on earth. See how people are attracted to musical programs. There are huge demonstrations of musical programs everywhere now. And a very big football court is also not sufficient when a musical program is arranged. Why? Because we are drawn naturally to it. So there is in our nature, the ear for music is developed, and on the planet music is developed, and the music is also what you call percolated into the mountains, into the rivers, into the trees, into the branches, into the flowers, into everything. Into the chirping of the birds. That's how it is arranged. If you wish to know detail of it, kindly go through the chapters relating to initial perception of Vedic sounds and hymns by C.S. in the book The World Teacher. It is written. In the book World Teacher given by Master E.K., how the C.S. could perceive the hymns, the meters, and the profound manifestations of sound and light with the help of listening to the breeze passing through the trees, from the chirping of the birds, from the pleasant sounds emerging from the flowing streams, all kinds of things he mentions there. I was almost stunned to know what kind of knowledge Master E.K. presented through that chapter, just to give us a glimpse of how Vedas are conceived. They are conceived from the musical tones coming from the Most High. So this is what Prithu has done as the next step by bringing in the energies of Gandharvas, Apsaras, and then as a consequence there is the experiencing of music, there is also experiencing of beauty. See, when some dancer is dancing, you are attracted to the beauty of the dancer. That's why In all our movies, you have so many dances, In the movies, they show color. They also express dance. They express sound. The sound, light and dance together makes it much more absorbing to the onlookers. So this activity of dancing, activity of arts, variety of arts, like singing, dancing, and then the concept of beauty, attraction towards each other. See, they are all, ultimately, the essence of the whole creation is love. It's only on account of love the creation also happened. So therefore, the dimension of love and mutual attraction, and then joyful expression through sound of music and the related light and the dancing and all kinds of arts and culture, they were all brought in during the Lemurian times. And we keep on evolving upon them. Some evolve it, some destroy it. There is on one side evolution of dance, there is on the other side destruction of dance, distortion of dance, like break dance and other dances we have, no? Disco dance, break dance. There are varieties of dances. From ballet to disco, you can see the variety, but all are attracted in one way or other to the sound and to the music of the sound and the related light and then the movements. That's why there are some spiritual moments where when they not only sing in praise of the divine, they also do dance while they are singing. There are some Sufi groups who keep on making postures and moving around, closing their eyes, and then the music is a way to get mused into the surroundings. So that activity has come to be, and that is what there are in all 16 types of energies Prithu brings in. Prithu brings 16 types, which is again a very sacred number. 16 are the phases of the moon, 16 are the dimensions of light, 16 is considered as a complete number. Shodashi is called. Shodashi. So we have now covered Manu, we have covered the Jupiter or Brihaspati, we have covered Indra or Neptune, number 3, and we have covered the rays of moon which bring the needed enthusiasm to live. Utsaham, meaning there is an upliftment in you as you relate to the taste of the planet. And then number 5 you have the Gandharvas. This is the most sublime thing to do. To bring down the energies of Gandharva means it is beyond the creation. Imagine the ability of this king to bring down such energies. Only to bring down such energies, the Most High is said to have descended. It is by the work that the Prithu did, the people recognize that this man is no other than the God. Who could bring in the energies of Gandharvas? Who could bring in the energies of Neptune, energies of Jupiter, energies of Manu, energies of moon? So many things he brought. So 5 are covered. We have to cover 16. We will cover. There is enough time to cover. Then he has taken, with the help of Pitris, he brought the sun energies to him. The sun energies are there, but then how to receive them? See, there is sun, but are we really drawing the energies of sun? The most beneficial energies that come to us from the sun is when the sun transmits the golden rays. Golden rays. And in the morning really it's very beautiful. Even up to 7:30 it is continuing to give golden rays. If you observe. If we are busy with our dead routine, we don't see anything. But just if you step in after the sunrise, after morning prayer, when I went up, still the golden rays are there at 7:15. It is much more so in Capricorn. Much more so in Capricorn. But every day there are golden rays from the sun. So Prithu arranged the vitality for the planet, because the planet has to survive. All that we do, it has to survive for long cycle of time. How it is surviving? With the help of the daily sun rays it receives during the morning hours and in the evening hours. Every part of the earth receives golden rays. Around the belt, which we call the belt of the earth, is between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. The equator is in between. That belt every day receives the golden rays of the sun. On one side there is sunset, on the other side there is sunrise. Isn't it? It's like when it is very cold, sometimes we expose our back to the sun, sometimes we expose our face to the sun to gain the warmth, isn't it? Like that, the earth, as it moves around the sun, it keeps on receiving the vitality continuously. It keeps. And that vitality enables the planet to sustain itself. And it also provides a needed warmth to the plants and to the animals and to us. Not only that, by relating to the sun rays, a system is arranged in us that in us also the vitality improves. In us also the vitality improves through our relating to the sun during the golden time of the day. That's the golden time. Sunrise time, sunset time. That's why it is generally recommended in Ayurveda to stay exposed to the sun rays during those times. We are always in sheltered roofs. Therefore our vitality is reducing and we are tending to be more and more debilitated. But the beauty is the morning and evening sun. That's why the Veda, they extol the beauty of sunrise and sunset. And they say we cannot completely describe the beauty of the sunrise and the sunset. By chance, sometimes when we see a sunset, or by chance sometimes when we see sunrise, we are so elated, We are so joyful. And we cannot but speak of it. We cannot but speak of it. Wow, what a sunrise. What a color in the sky. But it daily happens. In the morning and in the evening. But we build our structures in such a manner that we deny it to ourselves. We deny it to ourselves. While it is available on a daily basis, twice daily, we build structures in a manner that we deny it to ourselves. That's what I always tell Kumari. It's by providence that we have taken to this place which is north-south oriented but not east-west. RadhaMadhavam is north-south oriented, not east-west. Though we have windows for east and west, only in the upper floors we have the impact of the rays, otherwise there are also buildings around. As much you let the golden rays enter into your house of sunrise and sunset, as much you allow the golden rays of sun during sunrise and sunset into you, to your form, into your body, so much the body gains vitality and resists sickness. That's why people who work in the farms, in the fields, they have much stronger body of resistance or vitality than those who work in cities in air-conditioned buildings. We move in air-conditioned cars, we live in air-conditioned houses, we have heating system, we have cooling system, so we don't expose to the sun, but the warmth, the vitality in the body is directly related to the golden rays of the sun. So that golden rays have to be received on a daily basis to keep the warmth in the body. And that warmth is preserved in the spleen of the body. That warmth is very much preserved in the spleen of the body, and according to time, according to place, the spleen releases the warmth to the body to keep it always comfortable. Always comfortable. Just like there is an international standard of temperature in aeroplanes, they retain the temperatures around 23 degrees centigrade. Likewise, if you go to United States, their norms are even, they keep lower temperature, 18 degrees. To keep the people comfortable, but the spleen keeps us comfortable according to summer, according to winter, rainy season, wind season, any season you have. There is an inner mechanism in spleen which releases appropriately the heat to keep your body warm. Keep your body. But where are we? We have almost made our spleen non-functional. Non-functional. By not exposing to the, I don't say you should expose to the sun during the noon hours, but the golden rays of the sun we have to be exposed. Then the spleen gains, and it is a storehouse of the fire of the sun, and it releases according to the need, according to the outer temperature, outer condition. The inner temperatures are released to meet levels. To meet levels. If it is cold outside, more heat is released from inside to meet the cold outside. If it is hot outside, from inside it supplies the cool. That's why you sweat. You cool and you meet the heat outside. To meet the heat outside, to meet the cold outside, to meet the wind outside, to meet the rain outside, an inner mechanism is built with the help of this vitality which we receive through the golden rays of the sun. And today, spleen is not given any importance in medical practice. I was surprised to note from the writings of Master Jwalkul, especially in the book Treatise on Cosmic Fire, he mentions the spleen is almost ignored. It's ignored. But it carries the most beneficial functioning in us. We say no in our invocation, may we resist disease, decay and death. Isn't it? Spleen can do that. It can resist disease, it can resist decay. Some people do not get aged. Even at advanced age, they look not so much aged. Some people look more aged than what they are. Some people who are in 40s may look like 60. But there are some who are in 60s look like 40. Depends how is the body maintained through the help of the spleen. Spleen is a very important organ ignored by the present medical science, but known to the physicians of antiquity. They don't neglect it. And that's the storehouse of the golden light of the sun. So there is an arrangement within us, there is an arrangement on the planet by which the vitality is sustained on the planet, and that is what the sun does for us. And these golden rays, there is a mechanism arranged around the belt of the planet. That's why tropics have greater life than other parts on the planet. Tropics, that is that area of land in between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, it has greater life, meaning variety of vegetables, variety of trees, variety of fruits, variety of flowers, variety of animals. There is much life over there. Beyond the Tropic of Cancer, below the Tropic of Capricorn, there is not so much life. Not so much. On account of necessity, the humanity has expanded right from North Pole to South Pole. But the great light of activity is in that belt, where the rays of sun have an impact which is not completely explainable. So that is one arrangement. See, initially all these things were done to earth, and they are also concurrently done to the human body. We don't care about our spleen. No. We don't even remember that we have spleen. Only when frequently your temperatures are disturbed, you will know that the spleen is in some problem. Some people get frequently fever, meaning there is no mechanism to regulate the warmth in the body. Such people should be, in Ayurveda, they recommend 40 days, morning, evening exposure to sun rays. That's it. If you don't have the habit of getting up early, still they have a method. They arrange colored boxes. And ask you to sleep in the box when the sun rays come even later. Though the ray of the sun is white, because of the colored glass, the rays that come into you would be golden color. Like that. But that is secondary. It's not first grade. Second grade golden light, that one. But some methods are found like that. Or have a golden cup, collect the sun rays into the waters of the golden cup and drink them. That's how it is. They keep a silver cup, they keep a golden cup. Silver cup during the night, golden cup during the day, to collect the rays of moon, collect the rays of sun. These are all really, no one who gave us the history of the planet have written all this in our books now. So we, thanks to the wisdom coming from the seers from ancient most times, they recorded everything. They recorded. So we, since we believe in the seers and in their wisdom we are learning them and we retain with us, and we are benefited by knowing these dimensions, so that we have a different approach to the earth, different approach to the planets surrounding us. So then Prithu has prevailed upon the great seer Kapila. He is also an incarnation of Vishnu. He was already there on the planet. In fact, it is Kapila precedes Prithu. Kapila precedes Dhruva. The story of Kardama and Kapila, which were narrated in the earlier sessions. So he brought in the energy of Kapila, and he did many things on the planet which we will cover in the afternoon. Because I cannot take the topic now. Kapila is number consciousness in the universe. Kapila is the number consciousness in the universe. So what has happened with the help of Kapila will continue in the afternoon. By this we have covered 6 of the dimensions, and we still have 10 dimensions, which I hope to cover by about Monday morning. Then we take to another dimension relating to Prithu. Thank you so much. Namaskar.